Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from iStayingGamers, and welcome. So every time there's a new update in Space Engineers, I like to have a mess around with a number of the features. And I came across this. This really got me quite excited, even though I think it'll probably be fixed in later patches. Now, remember how sort of kinetic weapons used to be just so powerful and people used to really like using and building them? Now check this out. I'm going to activate this. Is going to turn the gravity on. That has powered up that rock to hit that target. Now that rock was traveling at a maximum velocity and it's caused no damage to the target itself. And just to demonstrate this again, if I go and find myself a stone that's down there, and I put a considerable weight of stone in my inventory to actually spawn, and we spawn that size stone then over here like so. This is going to reach maximum velocity even from this point. It causes no damage, it just bounces back. So that got me thinking. For a long time I've really wanted to build myself some sort of an assault pod that can launch itself at a target without getting destroyed. And the issue that I've always faced was that the rock or the ship would just blow up. It would just incinerate itself because it was traveling at maximum velocity. But the velocities needed to get past the enemy defenses and kind of mislead the turrets. So now if we go over to here, I've got like a preemptive test one. I was doing a variety of testing with messing around with this, and this was my test without using the rock warhead. So we'll just do like a vanilla test now to see what happens. I'm just going to launch that. The gravity cube should propel that. Okay, so it's punched a hole straight through the target and destroyed the landing gear. Interesting. Now what happens if we just repatch this target back up? Let's scroll wheel that out, patch the target back up. Okay, nice. And then we spawn in another one of them, but first we're just going to disable our gravity. Gravity is now off. Perfect. And we place one of these in again. Now, you saw how it destroyed the landing gear last time. So if I attach the rock to the front of it, will it still cause it damage? So let's attach the rock. I've tried to centralize the rock along the main shaft so it stays as stable as possible. And let's launch that up. So as you can see, it's actually caused no damage to the block before. What actually caused the damage was it flipping back into the target itself. So that means if we launch a ship that is protected by a rock on the front, we'll actually be able to protect it. So let's test out that theory a little bit further. So for this second test, what we're going to attempt to do is we've got ourselves the pod. We're going to line the pod up on that axis. Perfect. Then we're going to extend the shaft ever so little. So I don't think the blocks have that. Well, I know actually the blocks don't have the same characteristics as the larger counterpart. So it's just to account for any damage that may occur to that. We're going to add that in there, and we're going to add ourselves a rock. Before we add the rock, let's check and see if them gravity generators are off. That they are. Perfect. And let's attach the rock to the front. So I'm expecting the same thing, but now just on a smaller scale. So let's see if that works. Okay, attached perfectly. And now all I have to do is accelerate this towards a target. And if this works, that means we could build a whole variety of new things. Okay, yeah, there we go. So it's actually bounced off. It's caused the target to bounce off as well. So there could be debate if it's caused the equal amount of damage due to the target flexing. But from all the testing that I've done, you can see that the gravity on the actual target itself, the actual ship is not damaged. So if we paste that back in, you can see there's no damage occurred to that at all. So that gives me a nice sort of base or foundation, maybe to build my own sort of assault pods that I can launch at ships and have a very good confidence that the rock will actually protect it when it comes to impacting the ship. So there we go, just an interesting little factor that I thought I would bring up and show to you guys. So that leads me on to the challenge for this week. So from this Friday to next Friday, I'm going to be asking you to build some sort of pod like we did last week. But this time it's going to be a bit different. This is what it needs to be able to do. It needs to be able to launch from one platform, it could be your ship, to an enemy ship and survive. And on top of that, it's got to be able to deploy either infantry or a drone out of it that can then get itself inside the enemy ship. I'm going to be working on my own version of this, and I'll probably reveal it sort of later on in the week. And then when you guys have completed yours, I'll review them and show you some of my favourite picks. Anyway, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and something to take in consideration for maybe next time you mess with gravity-based weapons. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.